My name is John Broad. I'm the president of Crime Stoppers of Michigan. We are here today to help find the persons responsible for shooting 37-year-old Gamal Prinder. The shooting took place a week ago on Tuesday, June 7th at 8:15 a.m. The incident occurred on the 19,000 block of Fielding near St. Martin's Avenue on Detroit's northwest side. The suspects were described as two black males in their 20s. They were seen running away from the scene after shots were fired. Gamal was an automotive engineer and is an automotive engineer at Continental Automotive. If you know anything about this crime, please make an anonymous phone call to Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP or go to our website www.1800speakup.org and give us an anonymous web tip. There is a $2,000 reward if your information leads to an arrest. If the tip is called in by midnight tonight and leads to an arrest, there will be an additional $1,000 reward. Over $9,000 was awarded in June of 2011 to our anonymous tipsters for information that led to arrests. If you have any information on this crime or any other crime, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Your call is anonymous and your reward is also paid anonymously. You can make a difference in this community. Our first speaker is Sergeant Todd Eby. Sergeant Eby is with Investigations of the Detroit Police Department.
First of all, thanks for everybody for being here. Thanks for Crime Stoppers. They've always been a valuable tool in my investigations. Their tips have led to numerous arrests. Recently closed a case, the bus stop shooting at Southfield and Warren. Crime Stoppers has just been invaluable to me over the course of my 6 or 7 years doing shooting investigations. We're here today because this is another one of those shootings that really grabs at your heart and captivates you. We had a educated, hard-working gentleman leave his house in the morning like he does every Monday through Friday, attempt to get into his car. He was approached by a gunman. We believe the gunman came from east of the location. He approached the victim from behind the garage, and he was armed. A struggle ensued. The victim was shot multiple times. Fortunately, he lived. We've got a decent description. We believe the gunman is from the neighborhood, and we say that because of the time of occurrence when it occurred. We believe that the gunman potentially cased the house and knew the schedule of the victim. The description we've got is a black male, mid-20s, 5'10", medium build, medium length hair, dark complexion. He was unshaven, he had an unkept beard, and he was dressed in all black. We think that with the right tip we can close this case. Obviously this is the type of situation where this person needs to be off the street to make this community safer. This was an awful shooting that shouldn't have happened, and we are desperately asking the community for some tips, no matter how small they are, to help lead us to closing this case. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Father Gamal Mitchell.
Thank you. I hope that anyone that have any information about this incident contact the Detroit Police Department and give them any information that you can. My son test drive these vehicles. They don't belong to him. Please help us. If anybody knows anything about what happened, please contact the Detroit Police Department.
You must be very proud of your son. He's done well in his life, huh?
Yes, I am.
What was his life like coming up?
Well, he was an average boy. For a while, I didn't think that he was going to make it. It gave him a lot of trouble, but he turned out to be a pretty bright kid, and he's doing well for himself. I'm real proud of him.
Got a lot of responsibilities with the company, huh?
Yes, and they seem to like him, so he's doing good for himself.
How's he doing now?
Oh, he's doing fine. He's healing. Hopefully, he should be able to go back to work pretty soon.
That's important for him, isn't it?
Yes.
That's very important for him.
He's very anxious now. He's ready to go back to work.
Did he get a good look at who attacked him?
I can only go by what he told me. He said that he saw him, but I asked him, did he know the guy? Have he ever seen the guy before? He said he don't think so. Now that was at the moment when he was laying on the ground, when I was waiting for the EMS to come. I haven't asked him any more questions about it since.
Were you inside the house? Were you there when he was shot?
No, I was home, and we got the call from one of the neighbors, and we rushed around. We only stay up 2 blocks from each other.
He was shot in the side?
He was shot in the upper thigh and in this area here.
So when you got to the house, your son was laying near the truck?
He was across the street at one of the neighbor's house.
Okay.
And he was laying on the doorstep there. And police officer was there already, and some of the neighbors and police officers attended when we got there.
Sergeant, you said that you think that it's somebody in the neighborhood, that they might have been casing. What leads you to that decision?
Well, the reason why I believe that he was targeted, and I don't think this was just a random situation where somebody was walking down the block with a gun and ran up on somebody getting into their car. He was calculating what he did. Number one, I think you should understand that the victim drives a lot of demo vehicles for the company that he works for, the automotive supplier. So he's constantly driving flashy vehicles. And I don't mean that in a bad way, he was doing his job. But I think to certain criminals, he appeared to be a target to them. And the way the gunman approached him, he hopped a fence, he came from behind the house, a block over. And it was pretty clear that the gunman knew when to expect him to come out of the side door. He wasn't waiting by the front door. He wasn't waiting by, he was waiting in the back of the house. And he knew when the victim was going to exit his residence. So that's what leads us to believe that this just wasn't something random. It was something that was calculated and premeditated.
Did he have a flashy or expensive car at that time?
He had a newer vehicle. The gunman never got the vehicle. There was a struggle, and the victim was obviously trying to defend himself. And that's when the victim shot him multiple times. And after the shooting, the gunman ran away, and the victim was able to, obviously through adrenaline, he was able to make it across the street because neighbors started to come out in the neighborhood and assist the victim. This is a very well-kept area. It's not something that commonly happens in this area. This is the 7 Mile Evergreen area, 19,000 block of fieldings where it occurred.
What kind of, it was a company vehicle, what kind of vehicle was it at the time?
It was a pickup truck?
We have Dodge.
It was a Dodge
Newer
pickup.
one?
Yeah, it was a newer model. As you can see, the victim comes from a really good family. And, this just is one of those types of shootings that when it happens, and they're all important, you try and solve all of them, but, I don't think anybody's naive to believe that, there's certain cases that really grab you, and this is one of those.
Well, why does this case grab you?
Well, it could have been any of us, hardworking people just trying to make an honest living, coming out to their car at 6 in the morning, and, you've got an individual who doesn't respect life, doesn't respect property, and, it's just, if you knew the victim, you'd understand. Okay, he's a good, solid person. And like I said, all guns, anybody who gets shot in the city is a good person. But, you know, like I said, some of them really grab a hold of you. And this is certainly one of those incidents.